And now, live in the Madhouse studio, the two guys that have brought Madhouse TV to the nation, Tom Mealy and Tommy Marr.
Welcome to Crossfire. I'm Tom Mealy.
I am Tommy Marr.
Hey, I got to tell you, we have tonight, for you people out there that are just tuning in, one of my favorite 501c3 organizations. In fact, you know, being involved with horses, you know, I got Frankie in the backyard.
I know, I'm his buddy.
I know that when I first got Frankie, I wanted to get involved because through the firm we were getting involved with different charities, and I found out that this charity existed, and it was just something about it, you know, and I wanted to get more involved with them because it had to do with kids, and we have Barbara and her associate here tonight, and she's going to kill me because I don't remember her name, but I will in a second. Do you remember? Ellen, that's it, Ellen. We have Barbara and Ellen here tonight, and we're going to introduce them in a few minutes. But Barbara and Ellen run the organization called My Shine Program. Well, I got to tell you, I really am off my balance tonight, don't you think?
To say the least.
The My Shine Program is just absolutely phenomenal, and it's my great pleasure to introduce Barbara and Ellen. Thanks for being on the show.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for having us.
You know, Barbara, you know that I have been involved with horses for a long time, and I got involved with them, and I met you, I guess, has to be 6-7 years ago now, right?
Our program started in 2006. I think we met in 2008.
In 2008. And in 2008, when we got together and we started working together at the time, you were not a legal 501c3 at that point.
Correct.
Tell me about the foundation from 2006 to 2008. What was going on?
Well, 2006, let me start by saying I have two boys with autism. So in 2006, my daughter was riding her horse at Bethpage Stables, and I said, maybe we could do a little program, do a little horseback riding for kids with special needs. Ended up getting 6 kids together, figuring, okay, you know, they'll probably do this a few months, and then that'll be the end of it. Well, within, I think, 6 months, we had 24 students, 9 months, 72 students, and from there it just took off. I couldn't believe how quickly things grew and what a need there was for a program like that.
You say children that are autistic.
Well, not just autism, any special needs.
Any special needs, but isn't there a special connection between horses and autistic children?
Yes.
Nobody seems to know what that is.
No, can't really put a finger on it, but the horses sense something when the child with special needs or autism is riding on them.
And also music also, right?
Music also.
Sure, yeah, horses, the rhythm that they provide, the steady, you know, their different gaits provide different, you know, rhythms. Walk is 4 beats, consistent 4 beats. Trot is consistent 2 beats. It offers direct, and they offer direct feedback to the students.
Well, other than just riding it, I mean, I have seen, when I started getting involved with the My Shine program back in 2008, you were at a farm, West Hills, I think it is?
We were at West Hills.
But back then it was West Hills.
Yes.
Right. And I remember coming down to West Hills, and I remember a child was in one of the arenas, and there was a horse in there. And for some reason, I don't know how that child got in there, but all of a sudden people started getting nervous because the horse that was in there was not a very well-trained horse. And I remember people being in awe that the two became face-to-face, the horse and the child, and that there was this magic there. And I always remember that happening. I don't know if you were there at the time or Mary was there at the time.
I don't
but
remember
I remember
that.
something happened because the owner of that ranch, I forget what her name was.
Louise.
Was very concerned that this was going on. And somebody went in and obviously grabbed the horse. But there was this connection between the two, the child and the horse. When a child in special needs sees that horse for the first time, what are they seeing? What's going on?
Well, for each person, each child, it's something different. Some of them, it's just an animals. Some of them really loves animals. I mean, it provides a lot of different things for children. It provides the proprioceptive input. You know how kids go to occupational therapy and they bounce on the ball?
Yeah.
Well, they're riding a horse and getting that same input, but they're getting it from an animal.
But they're not afraid.
Sometimes
Some
they
are.
are, but
Really?
some of them are, but if you go slow and let them go at their own pace, most of them will eventually get on the horse.
And don't you think that the horses also have a sense that there is a special thing with the child? Without, I mean, it has to be.
Absolutely.
Has to be.
Let me just relate one story to you. There was a horse at Sweet Hills, Marge, and she did not like going near that big mounting block that we had. And one student we had to be on that mounting block. He had crutches, he had braces on his legs. He would get up there, and she would stand like a saint, perfectly still for him. She knew.
Why?
She just sensed that
Animals seem to.
she could not move away from that block because he needed her to stand still to get on.
Well, they do that in the hospitals also with pets too, right? I'm dogs.
Pet therapy, yeah.
So now you have this program. You just reminded me that our firm actually helped you get started with the 501c3, and I got to tell you, I totally forgot about that, and that brought me back to the donations that both Vicki and I did with the saddles and some of the bridles and some of the stuff that we donated a long time ago. But tell us where you are today. Where is the program today? What are you doing with the program? And for people that are out there watching that have children with special needs, tell me what you would offer them or how this program, you believe that this program would actually work in their favor.
Okay, well, right now we have 2 locations. We're located at Old Bethpage Equestrian Center in Old Bethpage. That's our Nassau location. And then Stablemates in Islandia is our Suffolk location. So we offer convenient locations to both counties.
Well, when you say Bethpage, you're talking about the restoration center that.
Not
by
the
the golf course,
restoration,
right?
no.
Where
Near the
is-
golf course.
Where is the
I used to
facility?
It's on Winding Road. It's near the Fire Service Academy.
So it's a barn.
It's a barn,
And
yes.
there's horses there.
That's been
There's
there
Now,
horses
are those? See, I don't know where that is.
forever. I used to
Now,
ride there when I was a kid.
Winding Road, isn't that where they
It
have
runs
that-
right along the golf course.
The trails there back, you go all by through the
Right.
golf course.
So you can bring your horse there, and anybody can bring a horse there if
And
they
ride
wanted
the
to?
trails?
And ride the trails?
Yes.
I had no idea.
could
It's
bring
beautiful.
Frankie there.
The black horse.
Yeah, the black course,
and the
where
green
they had the
horse
U.S.
back.
Open.
Okay, so your program now consists of how many students do you have?
Oh, right now we're kind of slow, but I'd say we had about close to 100.
At one time.
Yes.
And is this program Monday through Friday, Monday through Saturday?
Monday through Sunday.
Monday through Sunday.
We have
Yeah.
instructors that are able to work 7 days a week. You know, we divide it up through with our instructors.
Yeah, we have 8 certified instructors now, PATH certified.
When you say certified, what
Professional
certified?
Association for Therapeutic Horseback Riding. So you have to go through a whole process to become certified.
Is that through the county, through the state?
It's an international organization.
Organization.
It's all around the world. It's one of the biggest organizations for therapeutic horsemanship.
All right, so let's go back to, I have a child that has a special need, and he's in a shell or is somewhat isolated, and I don't. And I apologize because I don't have, my children don't have any special needs. They're I don't want to say okay, but they're,
The pop does.
But if I had a child, let's say a child that was autistic, and I wanted to get involved with your center, what do you think would be, I mean, if people are watching right now that have that type of child, what is your advice to them, and why should they get involved with the My Shine program?
Well, I think that they would need to find out more about therapeutic riding in general to start. And then if it's something they're interested in exploring, they can go to our website, which is www.myshineprogram.com, or call me. And my phone number's on the website.
And we're on Facebook also, My Shine
Facebook,
Program.
Twitter.
And is there also somewhere, if people out there want to donate, where they can donate?
Yes, go right to our website. We have links there to
Donate.
donate. In fact, we have a nice fundraiser coming up on Monday, January 20th. We're doing a fundraiser with the New York Islanders, who, by the way, happen to be winning of late. So,
Now, are you doing
no,
this over at the
okay,
Coliseum?
I know, not last night. Yes,
Is this
this
gonna
is
be
at the Coliseum.
Okay.
Yes. So they simply go to our website. We have a link there to order the tickets. And they're $87 seats for $60, and 10 of those dollars go to our program.
Great.
And we're working hard now to raise enough money to be able to cover our ring that we use at Bethpage so we can ride when it's raining,
now,
when it's snowing.
Bethpage is owned by the county.
No, it's privately owned.
It is privately owned.
Yes.
So the people where, they obviously there's a fee for using their facility.
Yes.
Now, do you use their horses? Do
We
you have
use-
your own horses?
We lease their horses. We lease the use of the ring from them.
Do you have your own horses?
No, we do not.
Do you want your own horses?
At this point, no. It's just easier to use their horses because they rotate their horses and
The cost of
owning a
Right.
horse.
keeping horses on Long Island is very high.
And in group lessons, we would need 4 or 5 horses at a time. And on Saturday mornings, we do back-to-back-to-back group lessons. So you kind of have to switch out the horses. So we'd need to own so many horses. It gets
Walk me
cost
through-
prohibitive. And we try to keep the cost down for our families.
Right. Walk me through a normal day with the My Shine program.
Well, Saturday is our busiest day. So Saturday, we start 8:30. And in the mornings, we usually have group lessons, go right through and switch over to private lessons.
When you say lessons, what is you're teaching a child with special needs how to ride a horse?
Some students are learning how to ride
But what is a lesson?
independently.
What does a lesson
A
consist
lesson is
of?
30 minutes. The group lessons, we have 4 or 5 students in a group and 1 instructor. And each student would have 1, 2, or 3 volunteers working with them. Someone leading the horse and 1 or 2 sidewalkers, depending on their level of
Depending
need.
on their needs, yeah.
Okay, but I'm missing something here.
Do they
What-
also
what
like
they're
have
doing,
let
the
it
pro-
just
Maybe I'm
go in
not
the stables and
understanding.
The
pet?
programs, the lessons can range from, there are kids that are lower functioning that it's very therapeutic for them to maybe get on the horse even without a saddle, to have just a pad there between them and the horse, so they're getting the most feedback from the horse and the most they can feel the movement and the rhythm. And sometimes, I'll put a child like that on the horse and we'll start, the first 5 minutes just quiet walking, just letting them absorb everything that the horse has to offer, the rhythm, the movement. Even without thinking about it, they're using their core muscles. They're getting more flexible. Then when we start to go into maybe doing some exercises, they're working on their balance. And then we'll start doing, whatever it is that they're capable of doing. The goal is to bring out the absolute best in what that child can do, and have them get the most out of that lesson, whatever they can get from that horse. Whether it's using social skills or communication skills, the horse is giving them direct feedback. They say ho, or what their word is for a ho, or whatever it is that they have that they can use to mean stop, and the horse stops. They get that feedback. They have an effect on another animal. And then there's also kids that maybe they have a learning disorder, or they have something, ADHD, ADD. They can ride eventually where they're a little bit more independent. I have kids that can walk, trot, and canter on their own without sidewalkers and
But now this
leaders.
was after, obviously,
a
a tremendous amount of
Yeah, and it
of
depends on the
lessons or
students.
training.
There are students that a goal may be to be able to have them hold the reins by themselves and steer. Or there's kids that maybe their goal is to have them, different goals for different students based on their capabilities, not their disabilities.
I know we got to go to a commercial, but I just have a quick question. On a percentage-wise, I'm just very curious, because obviously you guys get to see this. On the first initial meeting, child to animal, do you see something? is there a click? Does something happen?
There's
Is
a
it eyes or-
change from beginning. A lot of times the kids are apprehensive. They've never seen a horse before. They've never, what is this? You know, a lot of times we can't tell them, this is what we're doing and why. You
Right.
know, a lot of it is just guiding, putting them on, and by the end, there is something that happens. There is, you know, it's something they've never experienced before, but they
There's
get it.
obviously something.
You
There's
know.
obviously something that we're
Yes.
not.
Yes.
Yeah, but
No
you know, they
question.
get it and they want more.
Right.
We're gonna cut to a commercial. But when we come back, I want to talk about what you see when that child first gets on top of that horse. We're going to go to commercial. We'll be right back after this. We're here with the My Shine program. We'll be right back.
Stop the truck! Stop the truck! Thank you.
Welcome back to In the Hot Seat with Tom Mealy and Tommy Marr. We're here with Barbara and Ellen from the My Shine program. Barbara, when we were at commercial, we were talking about children and their first reaction when they get up on a horse. And I had a little misconception of what, but you actually have children other than children that are autistic, children with, you were telling me,
Down syndrome, CP, anxiety disorder,
panic
ADD,
disorders?
ADHD. I mean,
I get it.
it's any special needs.
okay, so you have a child with Down syndrome, which is, you know, I know a couple of families that child sees that horse, and I mean, are you using big horses, using ponies, using Shetlands? What do you? Does it matter?
All different.
All different sizes.
So it doesn't matter. So the size of the horse, does the size of the horse
Sometimes
intimidate
it
the
matters.
child?
Some children, but usually not. I mean, for a larger student, we have some, you know, teenagers or young adults that are larger. Of course, then we need a larger horse so they can carry the weight. But some kids are not afraid to be on a horse that's tall.
And-
you have
They
to, you
actually
have
like
to, you have to look at each student individually. You can't. That's why we bring the students in for an evaluation before we start lessons.
Do you ever have a student go and say, I want no part of this?
Oh, yes, definitely. screaming
But my understanding again, and this is where I don't understand, but my understanding in my reading of, for some reason, a horse is different than a dog or a cat. There's this connection between a horse. And obviously nobody knows what it is. I know that I have a connection with my horse. You know, I can look him straight in the eye, and it's like I almost know what he's thinking, and he knows what I'm thinking. It's just, I don't know what it is. Whatever it is, it is.
Their eyes, there is something different
You
about a
know,
horse's
I mean,
eyes.
Frankie is just...
Even when I spent the few
Would
days
you
there,
babysit?
I had a
He knew what
connection.
you were thinking.
He'd be like this waiting for me, like, come on. I mean, right to the minute. I mean, to the minute. I became pretty close with him, I got to say.
There are, though, kids that are, you know, don't want anything part of anything that new or that different or that, you know, that they do have a generalized, sometimes they have a generalized anxiety or they have a generalized fear that's so strong that right just comes in and takes over, you know.
What do you do with a child like that?
You bring them as close as you can, you know, without having them overreact, and go by them, by their reaction. You have to go by the student. It's all about the student.
Go at their pace.
At their
I'm also
pace.
curious, too, also about the parents. There must be a lot of anxiety with the parents also, and do you have a rule, like, listen, you know, let us take control of
Oh,
this?
yes.
You have to back out?
We
you know, because
are
I
in
can
the ring,
imagine the
you're out
parents
of
being
the ring.
freaked out.
Yeah.
you
Oh,
know.
yeah. We don't let the parents in the ring. We take the child into the ring and let us try to get the student on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think that the parent clinging to, you know, the kid clinging
Yeah,
to
with
the
getting the
parent.
student on, sometimes it helps to have a parent there, but usually what happens is that the parents see the reaction of the kid. They see their
Right.
child's, you know, accomplishing things, that their child is comfortable,
Probably
is
just
happy.
their facial
Yeah,
expressions.
and that they're
Joy.
Yes.
benefiting from the lesson, so they're more than happy to say, you know, go do what you have
Right.
to do.
I
So
just
the-
mean
and-
that initial thing, I guess it must be a little,
Well, it depends. Some of the parents rode horses themselves when they were kids, so they don't have that anxiety.
I mean, I've been coaching Little League for 35 years. I see it the first practice, you know.
So the
I
end
can
result
imagine.
is obviously very rewarding. You see the end result of not only balance, form, communication between the horse and the child. So a lot is a huge transition between the beginning and the end result.
Oh, yes.
And I can only imagine that this just brings the best out of it, and that's why you do this. We have about 5 minutes left. You just brought on a new program, which, you know, I'm a veteran myself. Tell us about the veterans.
We just started a program for our veterans and first responders. And so far we have scholarship money, which we're always looking for more scholarship money. So any donations to offer the scholarships to the students are greatly appreciated at our website. We offer these lessons to the veterans completely free of charge. And
That's wonderful.
again, they get to bond with the horse, just even coming down and bonding with the other students. Right now we have a veteran.
Any
who
veterans or a disabled veteran?
Any veteran,
So I'm a veteran. I can go down and
Post-deserts.
learn how to ride a horse.
yes, any veteran.
Any veteran.
And we have a veteran that volunteers for us, and he is actually going to be the honored veteran of the game at the Islander game on Monday night.
Very cool. What we're going to do, just so you folks know, on our website, we're going to talk to Barbara about doing a hyperlink from the My Shine program website onto our website for 30 days. And if you want to go on, I guess we'll get the engineer to hook that up together, if that's okay with you.
That's absolutely fine.
We'll do a hyperlink onto our site and give you a full column on the site. We get literally thousands, tens of thousands of people coming to the site all the time for different shows. So we'll put that hyperlink up there. Just click on the hyperlink. It brings you right to the My Shine program website. Take a look at what they have to offer, especially you veterans out there and families that do have children with special needs. I know, I believe strongly in this foundation. This is really the only one that Vicki and I have ever really dealt with early on because of horses. And I always thought that what you were doing, and now I fully understand it, was something that needed to be done, without a doubt. And now, is Mary still involved with the My Shine program?
Yes, she is. Yes.
Okay. I like Mary. Mary and Joe do the Long Island Rough Riders. Is that what it was?
Island
Long
Long
Island-
Riders.
Long Riders.
Long Riders,
Yeah.
which I
Jerry's
used to.
actually the president of the My Shine program, right?
Yes.
Mary is the president.
Mary's
okay.
the president. I'm the director.
And I remember with Joe, because I used to ride Frankie in the cowboy mounted shooting, which
They
was a
still
lot
do
of
the
fun.
cowboy mounted shooting.
Yeah, I wish I had the time. I know Frankie loved doing it. Frankie, by the way, is my horse. If I say Frankie, he's not my child. All right, but well, I got to tell you, we've got about 2 minutes left.
I just would like to ask, is there any one case that really, really, really like blew you away?
Well, I can think of a little girl, well, she's not little anymore, who had anxiety disorder and very shy, very timid. I remember her mom telling me after riding for a while that the confidence that the horseback riding had given her, because here she is controlling this 1,000-pound animal. She became the captain for the cheerleading team at school.
Wow.
It's so many amazing stories. Kids that have said their first words on horseback. You know, kids that have taken their first steps at 3 years old after riding horses, and just it's amazing.
There is something magical.
The benefits are just, it's magic.
It is.
Experience the magic between
And you
horse
must
and
love
rider.
it because doing it for so long, and I watch over the years the way that this program has grown and grown and grown. It's got to be very rewarding to
It
see
is.
this happen. And I thank you very much for coming on Madhouse TV.
Thank you for
All
having
right,
us.
We really enjoyed it. Real quick, why don't you tell everybody your website one more time?
Our website is www.myshineprogram.org. And go there, find out about the program, contact me if you have any questions, and come to our fundraiser.
Now they can come down and watch over at the
Absolutely.
over at the
We're also
where the ranch
at
is.
Stable Meets in
Islandia.
Islandia on
Okay.
Old Nichols Road.
All right, and they can Google you at myshineprogram.com. Okay, thank you very much for tuning in. We have a big show starting in about 2 hours. Tommy Marr is going to be introducing. Do you want to tell him? Because I know every time I tell him, you always yell at me. Go ahead, tell him who it
We
is.
have George Thorogood and the
Defenders.
Destroyers,
Why do I always say Defenders?
because you're usually defending one of those clients.
This is true. This is true. But
But
anyway,
I would like to just say one thing, to please, 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 if you can, even if it's $5, $2, whatever, send some money over here because there's magical things happening with this group, and it's really helping a lot of children and veterans, which is something that we are very, very close with. So
got it.
all I got to say.
Okay, thank you. Tune in at 7 o'clock, I guess. Is 7, 8 o'clock? Is that what time
Well,
is the show?
they're stuck in a little traffic, but it's supposed to be 7, probably around 7:15. something
On
like
the
that.
Maverick Soul Hour tonight. We'll see you next week here on In the Hot Seat with Tom and Tommy. Have a good night.